Good morning. Yay. Good morning. Good morning. Let me see if I can get over to this window and go live. Beautiful. All right. All right. Now, the show has started. Oh gosh. Um I hope you are having a fabulous day. It is beautiful here, although we had a lot of rain and everything yesterday, which makes it a little more humid, but also makes it where the flowers and everything are looking quite perky this morning. So let me bring everything up here on. Whoops. Hold on. Good morning. There we go. All right. Perfect. Good morning, Wendy. I see you're there. And as anyone who, as you arrive, make sure that you say hello. Let me know that you're here because sometimes I can't see it, and I'm trying not to look at my phone as much. And then if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay. But I'm so glad you're here, whether it's live or you're watching the replay. Good morning. Happy sunny Saturday. Yes, yes. It's so funny when I thought for a minute you said Sunday, and I thought, wait a minute, it's not Sunday, is it? Oh goodness. I hope not, because then I've missed a client in there somewhere. Well, today, that reminds me, I haven't posted my little thingy over here, so give me a second. I got distracted. I was answering uh, a question in an email, and I got a little bit distracted. Sorry. So we're going to talk a little bit about self beliefs. And it's interesting because I had a podcast recording yesterday with someone. Oh, it was great. I can't wait to get it published and everything. Elaine Elizabeth, I think, if I remember right. And she had an amazing, amazing story, which I know I use the word amazing a lot, but it's like one of the words I've got to find another word that seems to fit. But for the most part, that's the word I grab, and lets me know my vocabulary is not quite where I want it to be. So the thing is that we talked a little bit about some limiting beliefs and different things, because remember, our beliefs of who we are developed between the ages of 0 and 8. And so all the things that happen to us in that time, we develop different things we believe, and they're not necessarily true because we're not born with a lot of the attributes that we adopt. And whether it's that, as you were growing up and you had several siblings, one of them was the fun one of them was serious, one of them was just silly, one was smarter. And people don't mean anything by that, but they just start picking up on little things, and then they voice their opinion on them. And then suddenly this child who was really smart seeming, but did not seem creative, suddenly they've labeled them as smart. And so they kind of, even though they would have been very creative, they kind of let that go, and they don't feel that they're a creative person, and they may be. And that's one of the things that I love about working with Laura Westman with the master classes and the program that we got coming up, is because a lot of us, because of some of those things that have happened when we were younger, we don't feel that we are creative, or we don't feel we have permission to just play. And so let's get back into this place of a playful self-belief. And because if you watch children when they're born, labels suck. Yes, they do. And they get attached to us really quick. And one of the things I was sharing with her yesterday, and you guys may know this, but at that age between 0 and 8, we're like a sponge. So it's almost like we are um, in this state of emotion in our brain and everything, that it's like a dream state. And so when you're in that state, you're more susceptible to everything. So like kids don't, when they're playing a game and they get finished, they don't say, well, that was fun, that was a game. They feel like it was just what life was at the time, right? Whether it's they're watching a cartoon and they're immersed in it, it becomes real life to them. If they're playing a game with something, that becomes real life. I remember so many times with my kids that they would say, um, let's play, and they would tell me who I would be. And then if I didn't answer things correctly or stuff, they said, well, when I say this, you say this. And they would give me the script, but you could never look at, um, it's not like they ever said, this is only pretend, it's okay, or anything, because it's part of what they're doing. That's who they are, right? In that moment, that's them. They're that Barbie they're playing with, they're that toy they're playing with, the one that they're moving around and stuff. That's them. They don't see the difference, right? And that's how all of this stuff really gets in so deep. The things that people say, the things that people do. And remember, as little children, our cognitive ability to discern that, oh, they were just being sarcastic, or they were just making a joke, or any of those things is not in their wheelhouse yet, right? And we still have a problem with that as we get older. When somebody's being sarcastic or they tell a joke at our expense, right? We internalize it then too. So the thing is that as a little child, everything feels like the truth. And the way they interpret things is totally, not totally, but a lot of times is very different from the intent it came from. And so it's so important to be aware of where your beliefs come from, and that they don't necessarily have any basis in truth at all. And so we want to look at our beliefs, right? And see, you know, like I've shared before, one of the beliefs that I had forever was that I'm not techie. Tech challenges me and all this stuff. And then, when I started working with Stacy in this accelerator program, it was interesting because I was trying all kinds of new things, and sometimes I would really get stuck. But what would happen was, because I was getting the self belief up about things a little bit differently, and I started realizing that it wasn't that I wasn't good at tech. It was that maybe that particular tech I didn't know yet. Not, you're not born knowing it, right? And so I was able to change that a little bit. And now, believe it or not, I'm actually one of the person that some people come to for their tech help. And then when I looked at it, like, I'll have people that I talk to that are my age, and sometimes younger, and then I'm way more advanced than them in the tech arena. And so it's just that was my belief, right? And I was one of those people growing up that, especially in my teen years, my early adult years, that if I was with a group of people and we were going to do something that I was unfamiliar with, whether that's playing a game at like an arcade, or excuse me, or anything, I would bow out and say, I'm not interested, instead of trying, because I didn't want to look stupid. And I think back on that and I think, how many things did I not have fun with because I didn't want to appear stupid? When in reality, I wouldn't have appeared stupid. I would appear as someone who hadn't done it before. Very different, right? But my interpretation of how that would feel and how people would respond was that I was stupid. And so it's really bizarre how we put ourselves in these boxes, Nobody ever told me I was stupid that I'm aware of. Now, something somebody said, maybe, if it could have come from first grade. Maybe the teacher said, who knows the answer? And then I said my answer and it wasn't right. And the kids laughed. I don't know. I don't remember. But that could be it, right? But somewhere along the way, I got this belief that if you don't know how to do something, you're stupid. Not that then it's time to learn, right? So let's see what comes up here. All right. Yes, Wendy, the luckiest penny. I love the stuff that that Deborah Weed is doing with that. I think bullying is what's causing the teen mental health issues and suicide. That could be. There's a lot of things that that come to those things, right? So bullying is part of it, but somewhere along the way, if you think about it, and I'm not saying that's not true, okay? Don't think that, Wendy. What comes to mind for me is that you can have two children have the same experience as far as what the other people are saying, the bullying kind of thing, right? And one of them has an amazing self-belief, an amazing confidence, right? They're going to just kind of wash that away, or they're going to stand up and not be bullied. Now, that's not the case all the time, but that's more likely with someone who has more confidence and more self-belief. And so maybe the ones that really get bullied to a great degree, or kids that maybe were not, that gathered some kind of belief that they're not good enough or they don't deserve. And so I would love to see a study about that as far as what the beliefs were. Parenting helps, yes, tremendously. And, having a parent that you can come home to and say, this is what's happening, and then talk things through and find a solution is good too, because a lot of kids don't feel that they could go home and even say that because, either they wouldn't be believed, or it would mean that they were stupid, or it would mean that they don't, that they're not strong. There's a lot of things that stereotypically, especially with boys, right? They're stereotypically they are supposed to be strong and everything. And so sometimes if they show or tell someone that this is what's happening, then it's like, well, buck up, you're supposed to be strong. And so a lot of times people ignore things that are going on because they think that certain genders are not supposed to complain. They're just supposed to be strong enough to handle anything. And that is not true either, right? And so there's a lot of stuff that goes on, right? The thing is that the stronger we can become within us, and we've already, all of us that are on this on this call or in this group, we're already past 8 years old, right? So our beliefs, what's happening in Florida now with the gay kid now is criminal. Okay. So, like I said, when we are in this group, we're already past 8 years old. So we've developed these beliefs for many, many years. Some of us more than others, right? Because of governor's new laws. Okay. So the thing is that now is the time to start looking at what our beliefs are and what we think about things and what our self-beliefs are, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get to the affirmation. Let's see. Hold on a second. Oh. All right. So our affirmation for today: I am an explorer charting new territories of self-belief and limitless potential. And so I like being the explorer mainly because, when we come at things like we're exploring, we're learning, it feels a lot easier and not as magnetically charged with a challenge, right? And remember, the They used to have school safety zones, no more. Okay. Yeah. A lot of stuff goes on, right? And so with the affirmation, I am an explorer. Remember, everything you say or anything you say after the words I am are very, very powerful, right? And so I am an explorer, charting new territories of self belief and limitless potential. Now, who doesn't want to have amazing self belief and limitless potential? Well, the thing is, if you have that self belief, you do have limitless potential. The thing that holds us back is our self belief. And, that, like I said, that comes from the ages of 0 to 8, right? And so as we're exploring all of these things, let me hold on a second. Let me make sure what's going on over here. Did that do? Okay. All right. So let me see. All right. So it's really powerful if you think about it. If all we have to do is change our beliefs in ourselves, and then the everything starts coming to us so that we're open to all the possibilities, right? Then it sounds simple, and it can be simple, but not so easy a lot of times. I know I work with a lot of clients who that believe a lot of different things about themselves, and a lot of them are not serving them very well. And it takes a little work to get them through that and past that. And like the Shrek says, where people are like onions, and we have layers, right? And so sometimes it's like I'll have a client and we'll work through the thing that they came for, which I always tell everybody, whatever it is that you're here for, we're going to dive into, what's causing it, where we're at, what our beliefs are. But when we uncover this one, when we explore this and we eliminate whatever the negative part of that is, then that's going to uncover another belief that you have, another thing that's going on, because we didn't get here and have the things going on that we do with one thing that happened when we were 8 years old, and then that's the only belief that it gave us, right? It's like one thing expands on another, it compounds and compounds. And so as we're growing up, we have a belief about ourselves, and then we will magnetically bring people to us and circumstances to us to prove that to us all the time. And so it is really interesting how we, without even being aware of it, we're constantly creating things in our world that will prove every limiting belief we have. And so it's easy to look at something and say, well, that's just who I am. That's just the way I am. That's how I've always been, right? And it's a little more as we uncover and we start releasing this stuff. And remember, one of the things too is that your subconscious mind knows that you've survived with these limiting beliefs. You've survived with all the angst that comes with them, right? And it knows that you survived that. So it's going to try tooth and nail. It's going to fight with you to keep you where you are, because it knows how that's going to pan out. However, when you're looking to grow and change these beliefs and everything, then it kind of says, well, wait a minute, that's a whole new territory. I don't know if they'll survive. So it tries to keep you back. And like I talked about a little bit the other morning was, if you've ever said a part of me wants to do this and a part of me doesn't, then you've got two different camps in your brain that is really working to figure out what you want to do. But if they're not together, it's going to be this battle between the two. It's going to be weighing it all the time, and it's not going to come to a solution that serves you. And so it's really important to be aware. So today, You don't have to do it other than today, but today, just be open to being an explorer, right? What are my self beliefs? And how does that lead to the limiting potential, right? So let me get to the journal prompt. Let me pull it up here. All right. What uncharted territory in my life can I explore today to discover new strengths and possibilities? And so let's look at, as we're looking at our self-beliefs. So what's showing up in your life a lot lately? And you can write down the stuff that's coming that's great. The thing is, you even though something great could be happening in your life, it could be that there's a little bit of a limiting belief that keeps it from being brighter or greater. Maybe you're at the capacity of what you believe in your inside that you're worthy of. And that's why a lot of people hit this wall financially, or this wall, romantically, because they have hit the limit of what their belief allows them to do. And so if you're one of those people and you're feeling like you keep having this thing that's happening, and it's like, oh, things are so good here, but I don't know, I kind of feel like I want to do something more, and I'm having a little bit of a difficulty getting there, right? If that ever happens to you, it's because you've hit that wall of what you inside believe you're capable of, or believe you're worthy of, right? And so this is all a way to explore a little bit of the things that are coming up in your life. And then you can see what they are. Remember, when we're charting our territory, we're charting our path, our growth, our where we want our life to go. We don't start at well, we visualize the end and everything, but we have to know where we are, right? To be able to move forward. And it doesn't mean you stay there, right? So for heaven's sakes, you don't. And so let's look at where we are in our life, what's going on, and then see what are some strengths that you have that maybe you haven't even brought up. Maybe you've kind of pushed them down for fear of stepping out of your comfort zone, for fear of being ridiculed, for fear of looking stupid. Remember, that was my thing. I could have had many, many strengths and possibilities in front of me, and if I didn't think I could ace it right off, I wouldn't touch it, right? And so now I'm willing to look stupid. I'm willing to look silly. And it didn't come overnight, right? And the silly one is still, that's one of the ones that I'm working on more. I'm willing to look stupid now. And if I'm flubbing up something, that's okay. I'll get it. It just means I haven't figured it out. And and this is kind of there was a time in my life when I was really, really heavy, that my husband and I had so many conflicts because I was so heavy. And I would be working out like a fiend. I would be restricting my food. I would be doing all of these things to lose the weight, but I held on to the weight like crazy, right? And it comes down to beliefs and protection. And I know that now. But however, back then I did not. And I remember one particular day when we were having one of these discussions about my weight. And he said, that I was working out and I was dieting and all these different things, but the scale wasn't moving. So there was something that I wasn't doing right. And he said, I don't remember what all was said, but wasn't a pleasant conversation, I will tell you. But the thing that I told him, and this is the reason I'm saying this, is because I think it's true, is I said, if the day that I die, they have to put me in an extra large casket because I never lost the weight and I just kept gaining and gaining, right? That day you can say, She didn't do it. I said, but till then, I'm a work in progress. Every single day, I get to make a different choice. Every single day, I get to be somebody different. And until the day I die, you cannot say that I have not been moving toward what I want to do. And so it shut him up for a little while. However, the thing is that goes true with all of us, right? About everything. If there's something that we want to do, it's a process. We learn, we grow, we become, and we incrementally change. And there's something we want to know, like my thing was the tech, right? So now I know it's not that I'm stupid. It's not that I can't learn. It's not that I don't know tech. It's that maybe I haven't had the right teacher. Maybe I just haven't tried it enough. Because heaven's sakes, you sit down and the people that are a whiz at it, they've been doing it for a long time. And maybe they've studied that. I never studied tech. But the thing is that I'm always have the capacity to learn if I choose to. And so that's the thing, is there's some things that come in front of me that I'm not willing to even put the time into. So I find someone who can do it for me, because I'm not interested in the least. And so it's getting into this place where you can just be an explorer, see what's coming up in your life, and know that there is nothing that you can't learn if you want to. And if you don't want to learn it, there's nothing wrong with that either. You just find someone who can help you, or someone who can do it for you, right? And so there's so many things that we can condemn ourselves for all the time. And the journey of discovering is part of it. We condemn ourselves because we're not far enough along. Somebody over there has more than we do, and it doesn't appear that they've been working for this longer than we have. The thing is that everybody's capacity and their learning and everything is different. So it's giving yourself the grace, right? The grace to know that you have the capability if you want to do that. And you just have to discern what you want, right? So it is powerful to take ownership of the fact that you get to choose if you want to learn something or you don't want to learn something. You don't have to learn everything. Of course, I was thinking this morning, I have this thing where I want to learn so much that I was thinking, wow, wouldn't it be cool if you could just sit down and you just opened up your head, and then they could put all this stuff in there, and you'd get up in the morning and then suddenly you knew all this stuff. Because there's so much I want to know and I want to learn. But the beauty of that is that I get to learn it a little at a time, and it becomes my journey. Like there are so many things that I want to learn that I start learning and it's fun. And then I get where there's something else that I'm interested in, and I switch to that. And I give myself permission and to do that, because sometimes there's things that tweak you and really entice you. And then it's like, I think I'm to the capacity on that right now. And you move on to something else, and give yourself permission that you get to be you, right? All right. So let's go back to the affirmation. I am an explorer, charting new territories of self-belief and limitless potential. Put that on your sticky note, your index card, put it on the screensaver on your phone, write it on your mirror with a chalk marker, put it anywhere that it will be in your view today, so that you can really adopt this explorer thought. Because when you're an explorer, you're just looking at everything and figuring out what really is important on your path today, right? Because if you've got explorers used to have, like, they'd have the map, and they would have, this is where I'm going to go. And then they would explore their way to it. And, you would get to see the adventures along the way, because it's not the actual destination that's the beautiful thing, although it is. It's the journey on the path, you exploring and learning and growing and coming in contact with new people, coming in contact with new ideas. Just be open to it, right? All right, so I'm looking to see, whoops, let me see over here. All right, so let's see. Let me make sure I've got everything here before I go on to the next part. So remember, put this on your index card, your sticky notes, your screensaver on your phone, wherever you can. And today, you don't have to do it beyond today, but today be an explorer. Okay, exploring your self-beliefs and your limitless potential. We're really, really wanting to look at our limiting beliefs, our self-beliefs, right? Because when we can look at those and start reframing them and changing them and really getting that inside, oh man, how delicious life can be. And you're on that path just by beginning here. This is the beginning of that path, creating this new belief in yourself, right? And then when you come to the journal prompt, what uncharted territory in my life can I explore today to discover new strengths and possibilities? And so what I like to tell everybody is to get a journal or a notebook, put the date on it, put your affirmation and your journal prompt, because these work together and you want to be able to look back and see what they were. And then take some time to sit in just silence, not listening to anything, no recordings, no meditations, nothing like that. Just get inside. Quiet your mind by focusing on the sounds that you hear, if you're sitting outside, the breeze, the way the wind feels, or even inside, the way the air feels on your skin. Just get in touch with your body and your hearing, right? Have an exciting day of self-discovery. See you at 1. Yes. Thank you, Wendy. You are so good at that. I love the way you can close it out every single time. So as you're getting into this silence and this place where you're in your body and in the moment, then that's when you open your eyes and you just brain dump everything that you can on this paper about this journal prompt. What uncharted territory in your life can you explore today? So what have you been wanting in your life that you just haven't been feeling like you could even attempt to explore it or even entertain the idea of it? Just write out as much as comes up, right? And then as you get it all down there, then you could say, well, what kind of strength, what do I need to know to make these true? And just play with them a little bit. Be the explorer today. See how one thing feels. And, we're all intuitive beings. So step into your intuition today as you write out these things. Then just kind of take a deep breath. And then when you open your eyes and you scan it, there's going to be one that you're going to gravitate back to. And don't question it, nothing. That one, take some time to just explore a little bit. Think about, dream about, if this were true, if this were the thing that was part of my life, what would be different? And just explore it a little bit today, because we are intuitive beings. We know, and our subconscious mind knows exactly. It's almost like, I like to say, it's at that point, it's like if you've been at the movies or watched a movie and they have they'll have like a letter, and then suddenly they'll have one word or something that's highlighted in there. So they're bringing it to your attention, right? That's what your subconscious does. So when you look at that paper of all the things that you've got written down, and it may be just a few and it may be a lot, whatever, it's your thing. You do you, and it'll be perfect, right? No matter if it's only one, you'll be highlighting the one, right? And maybe if it doesn't highlight, then maybe there's some more that you could explore getting out. The thing I want you to know is that whatever you're doing, it's perfect. It's perfect for you. But as your intuition comes into play, one thing you're going to be drawn back to. Scan it. Whatever one keeps bringing you back, that's the one you explore today. And I would love to hear, from you what came up for you with all of this, because we are opening ourselves up to having a totally different life, a good life full of possibilities and strengths and wonder and So today, put on your explorer's hat, get out your compass, whatever you need to do, and just start exploring. All right. So as Wendy so eloquently said, have an exciting day of self-discovery. And and really quick, if you're watching from a different platform and you're interested in being part of the Stand Up and Stand Out community, which is what this is all about, is this community, then all you have to do is go to vickypoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com, and then you'll be prompted to answer some questions. And please answer those questions, because that's the only way you get into the group. I have some people right now, once again, it happens all the time, that are sitting in the queue that haven't answered the questions. So I've reached out via Messenger to have them answer them. And then I give them a certain amount of time. And if that doesn't happen, then I just delete them. And then if they want to do it, they'll come back in. But if this seems like a great group, which it is, I promise you, then definitely ask to join the group. And then also at 1:00 today, which is Wendy is going to be there, I am going to be, my mentor, Stacy Lauren, is having an amazing workshop today at 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you would like the link to that, because it's all about expanding your thoughts, your business, your beliefs, right? And I'm actually going to be a guest on there. There are going to be quite a few of us, I believe. But I'm going to be on there, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the journey that I have had through the program that I am in with her. And it's going to be full of so much information that I'm going to be there with my notebook, taking notes right along with everybody else, because there is every single time I have an opportunity to get in front of her and listen to her, I do it. And it would benefit you too. So if you would like to have the link, definitely let me know, and I will grab you the link. And maybe if I can go back and put the link in. Let me see if I've even got the link right now. Hold on a second. Let me get to that and see. Yes, let me just put it in the comments for you. Copy link. All right, I'm putting the link in here. So if you would like to, let's see, will it let me do it? I don't know if it's going to let me. Well, if you want the link in the comments, just say link, and I will definitely share the link with you. All right, so it's time for me to leave you with your explorer's hat and your compass and all the tools that you need to be the explorer today in your life. And you have an exciting day of self-discovery, and I will see you tomorrow. Is Sunday, so it'll be 10 a.m. Eastern that I'll be here again with another affirmation and journal prompt, and we'll just have an amazing time exploring together. Mwah.